Alright guys, Bismillah, let's get started with CIE IGCSE paper 0580. This is paper 42 and October November 2021. Okay, Melina has 450 fruit trees. You show that Melina has 200 apple trees. So the ratio is provided to you. Apple is 8. What you just have to do, you would have to obviously do the ratio calculation, which is the selected ratio divided by total of the ratios. So the 8 would be divided by the sum of 8, 7 and 3 and then multiplied by the total, that is right here 450. So putting this into calculator will give you 200, which is as required. Find the number of plum trees. So plums are 6 in ratio. 6 by again 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 7 plus 3, right? So plum is 3. Sorry, plum is 3. All right, so plum is 3. So 8 plus 7 plus 3. So multiplied by the total again 450. This would give you 75 on the calculator. Melina wants to increase the number of pear trees by 32. So pear trees we are talking about, and you just saw that the only three trees that they had were apple, pear and plum. We already know by now the number of apple trees is 200, the number of plum trees is 75. So why not quickly subtract from 450 the sum of 275, which would give us 175, right? So that is the current number of pear trees, and you want to increase that by 32%. So you just want to multiply 32% by 175 so that you know how many extra pear she needs, right? So 175 times 32 and then divided by 100 gives you 56, right? All right, so the next part 4. Each apple tree produces 48.5 kilogram of apples. The apples have an average mass of 165 grams each. Calculate the total number of apples produced by the 200 trees and then give your answer correct to the nearest 1000 apples. So first thing we have to know here that there are 200 trees and each one of them is producing 48.5 kg of apples. So this is a total kg of apples. And if I want to know the total number of apples, so definitely for that I took the numerator as the total kg of apples. I have to divide by mass of each apple, that is right here 165 grams. But do note the difference in the units. This is kg and this is gram. So a gram is worth 1 over 1000 kg. So you just have to divide by 1000 to get 0.165 kg. You could do that by shifting the decimal 3 digits backward, right? So 0.165 in the denominator. That was the only catch here, because most of the students would put 165 without noticing the differences of the units. And this gives me 58,787.87, right? But the question asked for the nearest 1000 apples. So the thousands digit is this one right here. We would have to see the next digit, that is more than 5, so we would add 1 here. The final answer would become 59,000. So 59,000 is the answer, right? All right, moving forward, Melina's land is valued at 3,075,000 dollars. So that is a simple question. Just have to write it in digits, figures. And a very similar question, you just have to convert this number that you just wrote into standard form. So standard form, students, involves writing a number in this particular form where a has to be in one digit, right? So if you just shift this decimal so that it has just one non-zero digit, right? One non-zero digit, so that would be 3.075. Now you can just count the number of shifts that you took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just count the number of clouds that you make, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you would have to multiply 10 by that exponent. That's it. In 2020, each plum tree produced this much kg of plums, and this was 16% more in 2019. So 2020 is 116%, corresponding to 37.7, whereas 2019 should be the original, that is 100%. Everything in original is 100% of its own, and that is x. Using corresponding method, we multiply cross, so the equation becomes 116% of x is equals to 100% of 37.7. Actually 100% is of no use because 100 over 100 would give you 1. So that's useless. X would simply be 37.7 divided by 116%. So that you can simply put on your calculator because you have an option of putting percentage there. So you get 32.5 kg, right? Now you have this question about interest, and this is compound interest to be precise, not simple interest. The formula for compound interest is principal into 1 plus r over 100 and raised to the power of t. So the principal here is 1800. So 1800 times 1 plus r. R is 2.1 and the time is 15 years. Time is right here, rate is right here, and this is principal, right? So principal, rate, and time. Just put it into the formula and you get the magic done. Right, so I'm getting $2,458, right? Okay.